Today I'm going to show you how to make titles on Premiere Pro CS6. I have 3 examples that I want you to work on during this class. These are listed down here in my sequence. The first one is a basic Neon Nation yellow background with blue letters. The second one is a Neon Nation title with flames inside the letters and a white outline around it. And the third one is a Neon Nation title with sheen, inner strokes, outer strokes, and a shadow. Now if I move this title over here, you'll actually be able to see the shadow better. Drop shadow behind the letters. Let's move it back over here so that we can make them. So to make a title on Premiere Pro, it's an easy process. Step 1, you're going to go up to the title menu upper here in the upper left-hand corner. Click title, go down to new title, and then roll over to the right for default still. And we're going to name our title. So I'm going to name this Neon Nation 2. And it gives me our title editor. Now on our title editor, the first thing I'm going to show you are the tools. Remember, when editing, knowing which tool you have is very important. So the selection tool is a tool that you're going to use to select things and move them around the screen. The title tools will allow you to write or type out your letters. This is a normal type tool. This is a vertical tool. These are for boxes, and this will follow a path. For the most part, you're going to use this one right here, the type tool. Here's some pen tools that allow you to do some extra effects, which we're not going to talk about too much today. But we will talk about these shape tools. This will allow you to make shapes on the screen. So first thing we want to do to make the Neon Nation title, the first one, is to use the rectangle tool. Click on it to activate it. You can see it's activated with a dark square around it. And we're going to make a rectangle on the screen. We're going to begin by starting up here in the upper left-hand corner off the screen. When I say the screen, I'm talking about this rectangle with the checkerboards. That is the area where we're going to create our title. So upper left-hand corner, I'm going to click and drag, and it's going to create this rectangle. And I'm going to make sure I cover up all the checkerboards. It's okay if you go past the checkerboard. As you can see, I've gone too far on all 4 directions, but that is fine. Now we're going to give this a color that's white. We want it to be that close to neon color. So to do that, on the right-hand side is a list of more properties. Under fill, we're going to look at fill type and color. For color, we can click on the square to give us a color swatch for us to choose. This is the shade. So I'm going to bring this down to that yellow neon color right around there. And then over here in this box, it's going to allow us to choose what shade of that yellow we want. We can add some blacks to it, some grays, some whites. But we want to be down here where the yellow is as intense as possible. So I'm just dragging this circle down. This is the color we've selected. Hit OK. And our rectangle turns to neon. And I'm going to go back to my selection tool. Click off of that. And now I need to start typing. So I'm going to use my type tool. Once I've selected my type tool, I'm going to click and drag again and create a box. This is my dialog box, if you will. I want to change my color so that the letters aren't the same color as the background. So let's just change this to a random blue for now. And so once I click up here and start typing, I will start to see my letters. Neon Nation. I'm going to click in between, hit enter because I want it to be on 2 lines. And let's increase. This right here is the font size for your letters. Let's increase. Let me select back on these. Increase the font size. Oh, I selected the wrong one. That's Kerning. Font size. Make these letters as big as we can make them so they fill the screen. Right around there. Alright, now I'm going to go to my selection tool and select this. And now as I change things, it's going to change these letters and not the rectangle. So here, this first section we have, this first drop-down menu is font. I'm going to go to the Bebas font, which is B-E-B-A-S. Click on it. And you can see it changes to the Bebas font. Under Premiere Pro, these are all a list of fonts, and there are a lot to choose from. So I'll give you some time to explore that later. And I need to move my letters back on the screen. Just like on Microsoft Word or Google Docs, these right here tell you how you want to justify your letters. Right now they're justified to the left. I want it to be centered up. And then I need to come back to this one, which is called leading. You can see how the A's are on top of each other. This is the space between letters that are up on top and below each other. So I want to move that down. I need to decrease the font a little bit so it fits. We want it to stay as much as possible within this safe zone that I'm outlining right now. So this is our first title. It is done. Neon Nation, neon background, blue lettering. So we're good to go. So we do not need to save a title. This is one of the unique things about Premiere Pro. You don't click save anywhere. It's automatically saving as you go. So if I just hit the X for the title editor, you see it saves it down here as my new one. And if I want to use it in my video, I will click and drag the title and drop it on track 2 or 3, whatever you need to have on top of a video. Remember, if I put it on top of a clip, it will overwrite it. So Control Z. I want it to be on top. Hit play. My Neon Nation title with my canned food video in slow-mo. Okay. Next title I want to teach you is this one. So if you want to right now, you can pause this video and then practice making the Neon Nation title step by step. So go ahead and pause the video and take some time to make that title. Okay, hopefully you were able to successfully make that Neon Nation title. And I'm going to teach you to make the second one. It's again Neon Nation, but we have flames on the inside. So, same as before. We go to Title, New Title, Default Still. Let's name this one Neon Nation Flames. Hit OK. Now this time we're not going to make a background. We want the Neon Nation flames to be on their own. So we're going to start with the Type tool. Click on it. Again, this is the safe area, these two rectangles. We want to make sure we stay within those as much as possible. The safe area is the area in which you know for sure your title will be seen on all TVs. So I'm going to type, made my dialog box, Neon Nation. Select. I'm going to change to a different font. I want a font this time. Since we're going to put some effects inside the letters, we want the font to be thicker and allow to see. So like a real thin font isn't going to work very well for this. So skipping down, which one looks good? I know this isn't the same as I used last time, but let's go with Showcard Gothic. You use any font you want, anything that's thick. Like this one's got thick letters, the stencil. Maybe we'll go with stencil. I'm going to choose stencil. Thick letters are better. All right, click off. Go to Selection Tool, select it, increase the font. We want it to fill the screen. Leading, again, is the space between letters that are above and below each other. And in case you're curious, this is kerning. This is the space between letters on the left and right. So we can adjust that. Maybe we want the letters to be touching almost. Okay, increase our justify center, increase our font size so it fills the screen. And then I'm going to click and drag and drop it down here. So it's kind of in the middle. Okay, so how do we get letters, or how do we get flames inside? Well, here's the first step. We need to make sure that we have to have a picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a Google search. So here it is, Google Images. I typed in fire. I'm going to search for images of fire, and here are a bunch of them. This one looks pretty cool, so I'm going to click on it here, right-click, save link. I'm sorry, save image as. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. I've already done that step, so that's fine. But you would name it and hit save and save it to your H drive, your I drive, maybe not the desktop. I'm just doing that to make it quick and easy. Then you hit save. Get rid of that. Now what we're going to mess with is a aspect of titling called texture. So right here under fill again, we have color and opacity. Again, you can change the opacity of your images like that. We're going to go with texture. So I'm going to drop down the texture menu. I'm going to click it to activate it. You can see fill has got the check, so now texture does too. And I'm going to click inside this box. This is asking me what texture do I want to add. So here are my desktop options. There's my fire. Hit open. Again, all I did was click here on this little square. Select the texture. I could change it to that fire. Let's go back to the other one. That's pretty cool. Now we have fire. Again, we do not have to save this. We can just hit X. Find a clip in our video. Drag it over. You can see, because we did not use a rectangle background like we did for the Neon Nation one, we can actually see the video behind it. And now Neon Nation is lit. Perhaps, let's say, I don't think the letters stand out enough and I want to change this title. That's nice and easy. I'm going to double click. It brings that title back up. Inner strokes. Right below fill are inner strokes. We're going to add inner stroke. You can see right away it creates a black line. But I want to go with white. So inner strokes, fill type color. Okay, now it's white. Again, just hit X again, and it will make the change for you in your sequence. All right, last one I want to show you is this one. And the way we're going to do that is the same as we did before. Title, new title, default still. Let's call this Neon Nation 3. Hit OK. Again, this one does not have a background, so we're going to get our title tool. We're going to create a dialog box by clicking and dragging. We're going to change our font. Again, for this one, a thick font is the best. What's this one? Fork. We're going to go with fork. Neon Nation. Hit enter. Same as before. Justify center. Increase the font size. I want it to fill the screen. Go to our selection tool. Move this around so it's in the middle. And in the save area. Okay. With it selected, now we're going to go over here again. Fill type. Under fill type the color. We're going to make it blue because Neon Nation has got blue in it. Hit OK. We're going to talk about inner strokes and outer strokes. We talked about that for the last title, but again, if you want to add an inner stroke, which is basically an outline for the title, you're going to click Add. And it defaults to black. Maybe you want that to go to white. You click on that color swatch, drag down here to white, hit OK. An outer stroke now will be right here. Add an outer stroke, which will be an outline outside of your outline. So the inner stroke and outer stroke, you can change the color of that, but I'm going to stick with white and black. And also we're going to add a sheen. Under fill, sheen is basically like a reflection or a glare. So when I click that, you can see it creates a sheen. My drop-down menu is going to allow me to adjust that. So we have the color, the size, can make the sheen bigger, can change the angle of the sheen or the reflection. So feel free to play around with these options right here. The last one is a shadow. So click shadow. Shadow is black, but we don't see anything until we change the size and the angle. Maybe we want it to be offset. Cool. Hit X. Down here in our project panel, drag and drop it. Now we can see our 3 titles. I've gone through how to make these 3 different titles using many of the different aspects of the title editor on Premiere Pro. I now challenge you to spend some time in class to make these, and also feel free to experiment and play around and figure out other different things that we have available. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.